The goal is not to be successful and famous.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's not the goal. The goal is, if you have a specific God-given ability, is to live your life out through that.
Right.
One. And two, we have a responsibility to push the conversation forward until we're all equal.
Mm-hmm.
Until we're all equal in this place, because until everyone's free, no one's free. And
Right.
that's just the fact.
People from our community. And we have to unapologetically do that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people are in big positions. You may be working at Google. You may be working at this bank. You have to come and give that information to your people. So it's bigger than me. And it's bigger than any one of us.
Thing you said, the metaphor. We had the recipes, just not the ingredients. That's a good metaphor for like a lot of things in life. We had the recipes, but none of the ingredients.
Yeah.
We didn't have it. That's a bar. You should write that down.
All our greatest leaders right now are black women.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So I give thanks to God for black women, and I want to just say, to all the black kings out there, let's stop playing.
What's going on? So here we go. We have the Asian Theory 2.0, and I'm going to break this everything down. We're gonna take it slow. Okay, we've got a 30-minute time frame in which we're going to take you from one level and move your whole mind to another level. Whether you have one aha moment during this video, you win. Okay? But you're going to have more than one. All I ask of you is to come with an open heart, an open mind, and to not fight against information that would somehow contradict what you currently think. Because I'm going to literally break down the whole mind, and if you fight it, you're fighting against truth. Because the Asian theory, soon to be the Asian law, is nothing but truth. Let me explain how and why it is truth. The infinity symbol is the shape of life itself. If you look above me, you will see the DNA strand, which also happens to be very similar to the infinity symbol. If you take a picture of the moon at the same time of night every time, you will get that shape right there. Again, this is the shape of life, but if you can, through the Asian theory, you can actually ask the infinity symbol a question. Okay, I know you want to test it out. You say, wait a second. You say the infinity symbol gonna teach what is okay. So here we go. One is the story. Now, what is the story? You can be the story itself. You can be viewing a story, or you can tell the Asian theory a story. Okay? Two are the thoughts that come about based off of the story. Okay? What comes in between one and two is the lens of perception. And that lens of perception is based off of your identifications of self, which all are on the mental constructs, your identifications. For example, what is your career? Okay, so then you identify as blank. So for example, maybe you're a lawyer. So through your lens of perception of identifying with being a lawyer, you say, I don't do that. I'm a lawyer. So now whatever story is being told is now being looked at through the eyes of a lawyer instead of the eyes of the person who happens to be the lawyer. Because you cannot be infinite. Again, we're talking about the infinity symbol. You cannot be infinite as a being once you've labeled yourself as this. Because if whatever this is comes along with behavior, you're just in a box of behavior. And I'm going to break that down to how thoughts of identifications put you in a box instead of being limitless. Okay? You can also have limiting beliefs which hold you back from being infinite. But I feel that this is so beautiful because you can place your story in the Ejin theory. Watch this. So, Mr. Mind and Body, personal trainer type dude, blah, 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 blah. So I get to talk about fitness stuff, right? Watch this. Number one, the story is I don't like how I look when I get out the shower because I'm not happy with my body. That's what somebody could say. I'm not happy when I go to buy clothes because it makes me feel some type of way about myself. That's the story. Or the story is said person has control over their activities and the food that they put in their mouth, but because their lens of perception is based off of victimization, then they are not able to see the true story of reality. Then you also have to go back to programming, because that's where everything comes back to, programming. So you say, in this story, what questions can I ask in order for me to get the truth of the story? Okay, we have said person who grew up in a household who was never taught how to eat correctly, or whatever correctly may be, to eat in a healthier fashion, or wasn't taught fitness. So what happens at that point? What happens then? That's the origin story. That's how they grew up. So how did said person all of a sudden have the info and comfortability to be this fitness person? It's not part of the programming. So the question is, did the person actively choose to not be happy with themselves? Or did they just continue going along with the programming that they had from the beginning of the story and they didn't change it? Because if you understand that you were actually the story playing itself out, well then motherfucker, turn that wheel. Go a different route. However, let me tell you the things that trap you in place. This is the good stuff. This is where you really understand. In the identification of whatever subject, it will control your thoughts. Watch this. Gender. We're going to go down one by one. Gender. Either you view yourself as a male or a female. And based off of viewing yourself as a male or a female, you've learned that being a man comes with some type of behavior. That's if you hold on to thoughts as of a man does this. Okay? So then we have to say, okay, so you think that a man is this. Let's plug it into the Ejin theory. So the story that I'm telling myself is that a man is this. Well, where did I learn? So now we have to now ask the Ejin theory some more questions. Well, in order to get the accurate story, where did we learn what a man was? Oh, we kind of learned from the movies and what society says. Oh, I get it. Yeah, there's actually no such thing of what a man is or isn't. It's just preferred behavior based off of what I learned. So if I see a male that is not acting in the way that I think that he should act, then he's not a man. That, ladies and gentlemen, is toxic masculinity explained very easily. Any type of viewpoint, well, that's not necessarily toxic masculinity. It's not. However, any viewpoint that is basically, this is how it should be, and anything outside of this box is not a man, then that is basically the control thoughts of being limited. Because anything that a guy can do, a girl can do as well. And anything that a girl can do, a guy can do. It's really interchangeable. It's just different bodies. But if you go and you look all the way this way, you'll see that I have that little black dot, which is higher self, or also known as the real path, because the unconscious path is never the real path. The conscious path is the real path. So it's beautiful because if you look in the mirror, that black dot is the black dot that would be in the middle of your eye, while the outside circles represent your identifications that affect your perception. Okay, so the first thing that goes around that eye is physical identification. So what's the first physical identification on that list over there? Gender. So again, it's really easy for people to get caught up in their guys don't do this, girls don't do that, because that's one of the first things that they learned. It's one of the first things that they learned. Literally. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Oh, okay. Now let's go on to the next one. Skin color. Skin color. Let's talk about the story. Is there an actual difference in human behavior based off of skin color? No. Human behavior is learned. Human behavior is learned through other humans, and culture plays a big part in it. So if you grow up in the Dutch Caribbean and everybody else who grew up in the Dutch Caribbean is pretty much Caribbean and would be considered black in America, if they come over to the United States and they learn that like racism is a thing and they assimilate to the culture, they're now choosing to act a certain way based on the other people that look like them there. However, the person who is on the inside is unlimited. Because if you take a black person, let's take 3 black people, all 3 of them are orphans. One of them is raised by black people. One of them is raised by a very rich white family, and the other one is now deleted from this story. So it's 2. It's one who's just adopted by a black family, one who's adopted by a white rich family who know no black people. Based off of raising that said black child, is now that person not black? Oh, they're part of a different cultural upbringing. Oh, so the person on the inside is unlimited. It's the upbringing, it's the environment, it's the culture. Oh, so basically, the Asian theory can actually get rid of racism very quickly. Watch this. Story. All black people are this. You don't even believe that because you don't even know any black people. You see how easy it is? Ask the Asian theory questions in order to find the accuracy to the story. All black people are this. Well, do you know any personally? Like, are you friends with any black people? No! Well, then your story is inaccurate based off of the amount of interactions that you have. Watch this. You only have this screen, right? And when I say this screen, I mean literally what you see with your own eyes. And if on your screen you have only people who look just like you on your screen, and you don't have anybody who looks totally different than you on your screen, not on a black mirror, which is a cell phone or is a TV monitor or is a tablet, right? On your screen, are you hanging out with anybody who looks different than you? So then how can you really have an opinion on anybody else that you don't even really hang with? And let me show you also why opinions don't really matter. Because all you're doing is being bothered by somebody else's story. Now watch this. Again, we are all stories playing themselves out. So if we're stories playing themselves out, in my day-to-day basis of moving through life, how could I be bothered about an actual opinion that somebody has about me? Because their opinion didn't change the actual accuracy of the story. The day continued to be the same day. Your opinion is worthless. So when everybody is critics and have all the opinions of others, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. Let's continue because I got caught up on skin color there. I got 15 minutes left. This is great. So hair, face, body, clothing, obviously these are all physical things, but the good stuff is on the mental constructs. So in terms of the mental constructs, these are the things that you really judge people on, think are really important, and probably chase after. So the way that you view people in terms of career, I think that career is one of the biggest mental constructs in terms of respect. You will respect someone who does one job based off of your viewpoint of that job and its importance and the amount of money that it makes. That's why I have money so big there, because the career links up with money, right? So watch this. I can say, yeah, I'm a garbage man. And the girl's gonna be like, and I'm not gonna say she's going to be like, but the the quick assumption there, based off of regular thought, is that, oh, you're a garbage man, right? You get you get some type of kickback, and then you say, then the person says, well, actually, no, I'm not a garbage man. I own a valet trash company that does the garbage, does valet trash for um, um, 100 properties in the city. So I'm kind of bringing in X amount of dollars per week that is bigger than most people's salaries. And then through that explanation, oh, so you're not like a garbage man, like you're like a business garbage man. Like the whole the whole viewpoint is now changed. But there was judgment placed on the career, which again links to money, which linked to value. Gender roles. We're skipping over achievements. Gender role. In your relationship or your view of relationships, you think that a man is supposed to do this and a woman is supposed to do this. And based off of these things that you think that a man should be doing or a woman should be doing, your expectations become your pain. So I know a lot of women who really feel that a guy should do this, and this, and this. And then I kind of try to open their eyes up a little bit and I say, well, do you realize that all you're wanting is a certain behavior? You just want a certain behavior. What you're getting from this person is not the person. You're not getting the story of the person. You're getting the behavior. In dating, you're dating the whole story, not the behavior that comes out in the now. And if that behavior is basically follow these rules and I will be happy with you, that basically you're dating your own rules. You're dating your own rule set and you're dating your own expectations. And you are victim to your expectations every single time. Relationship roles. Again, relationship roles are based on your viewpoint of what you think that a man or woman shouldn't do. Which, again, you have to ask yourself, where did your lens of perception come from and is it valid? And in your understanding of said thing, you always have to ask yourself, all of those mental constructs that are on the right side of the screen, are your views fixed or are they from a point of growth perspective? Right? For example, someone who doesn't understand time will not necessarily understand that this moment is the present moment and it's forever a gift and we only have this present moment. So how could you complain or hold on to any trauma that come behind this moment? How can you do that? Think about this. If you are the story, the whole, you are the story, and something happened to you at 10 years old, something happened to you at 15 years old, something happened to you at 20 years old, and you're carrying that pain with you now in the present, what is the story? I'm going to ask you a direct question. What is the story that you're telling yourself? What is the story that you're telling yourself that you're bringing that shit with you to the present? So now we just hit we have less than 10 minutes. Now I got to come with the heavy hitters. All right. Here's the heavy hitters. Because now we need to make sure I get the job done. In your understanding that you are the story that creates the thoughts and the thoughts create the behavior, how much of it is victim mentality versus you taking responsibility for yourself? There's something called cognitive dissonance. And what cognitive dissonance is, it's basically contradictory thoughts. Okay? Let me take you to this slide real quickly. Brother Franz Fanon said sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against that belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted. It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable, called cognitive dissonance. And because it is so important to protect the core belief, they will rationalize, ignore, and even deny anything that doesn't fit in with the core belief. So cognitive dissonance, here's the example. Domestic abuse is bad and no one should put up with it. Blank stare, because I know a lot of people can co-sign with this. Behavior. I continue to stay in an abusive relationship. Now let's skip over to the Bayesian theory. So as the maker of the Bayesian theory, how do I differentiate my theory from cognitive dissonance? Well, cognitive dissonance is basically a disagreements in thoughts. I say this out loud, but this is my behavior. I say this out loud in front of other people, but this is my behavior. Here's the Bayesian theory. You are responsible for you. It is your story. So either you play your story and win the way that you want to win, right? You look at yourself in the mirror, and if you don't like it, you make it. You make it so you like it. You put in the action so you like it. The Bayesian theory doesn't have room for your victimization and your, either you gonna take responsibility for yourself or you're not. So everything that the Bayesian theory comes from is from a place of understanding. Because everything can really be understood when we understand that we're just people interacting with other people. Watch this. Bayesian theory, attitude. I love myself more than any mental construct. And the reason I put that there is because it's the mental construct of a relationship that lets your mind accept someone putting their hands on you. Watch this. You know why it's a mental construct? Because if you're in the grocery store and said large, said large man comes up to you and punches you in the eye, whoa, that's not okay. But what's the difference when it's somebody at the house? What is the difference when it's a husband and a wife at the house? The difference is in the identification and the ownership. Now we're going to continue to dive deep. We're at the 6-minute mark. This gets better and better. So, in the identification of said title, this is my wife. That's my husband. But if that construct of relationship wasn't there, would you let said random person just come up to you and punch you in the eye? No. That is the power of relationship constructs. Watch this. Would you're a parent, you have some kids, your kid is in the grocery store, you happen to be on aisle 5, your kid made it to aisle 7, and next thing you know, said large man is there again, and just wham, hits your kid. Oh, you about to act a fool now, huh? Well, what's the difference between you doing it and somebody else doing it? The difference is in your mental construct and your belief that it's okay for you to do it. But if you really, really want to get deep, I would then ask you, in the accuracy of your story, where did hitting your child ever become okay? Oh, the lens of perception. Oh, you never questioned your lens of perception. So that's why you ended up spanking your child or hitting your child or doing whatever, while you would hate for anybody else to do it. But in your lack thereof or understanding of putting your hands on your child, you now think that that's totally valid based off of your own mental construct. Do you see the power of mental constructs? Do you see how everything gets in the way? There's so much more to unpack here. And let's see if I can, what I can get in this last 4 minutes. I'm going to tell you how to use the Bayesian theory for yourself. Wait. Before I do that, let's look over on the all the way this way. Again, we have the higher self in the middle. We have the physical identification. On the outside of that, we have the learned mental constructs. On the outside of that, we have society. On the outside of that, we have mindset/beliefs. So I want to give you a hint on how to use the Bayesian theory to be successful at anything. Whatever your cornerstone or whatever your highest level belief is, or whatever your highest mindset is, it controls everything. Okay? So you can have higher self in the middle and mindset on the outside, but it still encompasses all of it. So if your mindset is I am unlimited, then everything that is in between it doesn't matter. I don't care what society says. I'm unlimited. Oh, these learned mental constructs? Shit, I see how y'all are acting. Y'all all learn the same nonsense. I'm good. I come up with my own beliefs. I am unlimited. So therefore, the things that are in between are not not a factor. Now here's another belief. Watch this. You ready? Here we go. I'm just a normal person. Oh shit. Well, watch how we throw that into the Bayesian theory. I'm just a normal person. So if I'm just a normal person, then everything that comes along with my thoughts based off of me just being a normal person, if that's what I'm saying the story is, all of my thoughts will be normal as hell. And normal is really average. And I don't think I want to run around with average. But if I say that I'm just a normal person, while subscribing to celebrity and subscribing to people who I think are really awesome, then I am now putting myself on a very low totem pole because I feel that I'm just a normal person. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. I mean, that is exactly how it works. I apologize. That's exactly how it works. Whatever you tell yourself that you are, you are. You are the story. Now, before I go, I'm going to tell you how to enjoy the Ejin theory for yourself. Put your story or your viewpoint of the story in number one. Ask yourself what lens of perception that you're looking at it, how many mental constructs your mind is running through, and where you are on the victimization / responsibility chart. Through that, you will find your truth. Again, I just want to thank you all for being here. This was the Ejin Theory 2.0. Brother Kanye, this is for you directly. You had a really genius dad, or so you've said, and I think that's super awesome. I had nobody, okay? Nobody helped me, and now I'm asking you for help. Contact me, man. I would love to work with you, and I'm just trying to figure out the game just as you are.
Yes, I am a genius, but one of my most genius skill sets is recognizing other geniuses and empowering them and giving them the platform. So